Hey there guys, my name is Gracie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I would like to share a story about how I experienced mind control, MK Mind Ultra during my gang stalking. Right. So I was at one LA Fitness in the North York region, and I was transferred to another LA Fitness because of harassment. You know, and I remember this one Asian girl saying, go back to your black neighborhood. This is a white Asian neighborhood only." Like, they would say stuff like that to me, but they would never get in trouble for it, right? They always they always have the upper hand, I guess, because it is what it is. This is Canada. Canada can be one of the most racist places, and it's so shallow for people to think that because I'm a light-skinned black person, so therefore I have light-skinned privileges. Because there's a lot of stupid black girls who think that just because another black girl is light-skinned, then she has an upper hand in certain areas or certain workspaces. Which is completely, it's like a completely absurd thing to think, especially in a place like Toronto, Canada. So at the other location, I remember there was a guy. I remember entering the door, and there was a tall guy. And when I explained to him the situation, that I was told to transfer to this location. He told me, "No, you can't come to this location because this is a signature brand. You have to go to another premier location." And he was trying to give me the locations, right? Or he was trying to give me the names of the premier um, gyms, right? The location, sorry, well, where some of the premier gyms were here in Toronto. So in the process of doing that, there was this short guy, and he came by and he was like, "What's the issue?" And then the other guy explained, and he was like, "No, it's okay, she could stay." And after he heard the situation, he's like, "She could stay." And I was like, "Oh, great." Like, this short guy, he was very handsome looking, he had his big watch on, dressed up very professionally. And I said, "Oh, wow, he's really nice." But this is Toronto. There's a lot of corporate narcissists out here, so you gotta be very careful with people. Don't judge a book by its cover, and do not, I repeat, accept the first impression, because this is just a representative they give you. So I remember when I started working out there at the new location, this short guy would walk every time I get in the gym. Every time I go, so I'll get in, I'll go to the changing room, I'll change, and I'll go upstairs and sit on the bikes. No. I'll stand on the elliptical and I'll start using the elliptical. He would walk as though he was going to the changing rooms, and he would make eye contact with me upstairs, and he would make these hand gestures, and he would put his hand in his pocket. And my intuition would tell me, look at him, look at what he's doing. I didn't know why my intuition is telling me to look at him and look at what he's doing. I noticed that he did that every time I came in. So this guy, it's like he was programming me, but I didn't know that at that time it was programming me, like sort of like, I guess, grooming you or whatever the hell you want to call this. And then after like months and months passed, I think even a year passed, I ended up coming to the gym. I used to start going there now late because something had happened to me, and I just couldn't find like the energy to get there on time. And but I would try to get in like maybe a 25 to 30-minute workout right before they closed. And so I remember like I remember like volunteering to like help these guys pack back the weights. And I'll be like, "Okay guys, just allow me to stay in longer. I'll help you guys pack back the weights," because they would always stay back. And like after, because you know how gym staff are supposed to clean up the floor before they leave, and then the cleaner actually comes and finishes up the work. So I'll be like, "Okay, I'll help you guys pack up some of the weights if you guys let me stay in a little longer." So they're like, "Yeah, sure." Then they started trying to take advantage of me by trying to think that they can program me to do this for them every time. So now they're starting to take advantage of my kindness. So that whole time, that guy was trying to put me like to sort of like, I'll call it like some sort of like grooming or something, because it's like he started now trying to make it seem as if the idea to pack those weights is my idea and not their idea. right? But I picked up on it. But because I wanted to work out, so they want to take advantage of me. But I'm like, okay, you can have this because I want to work out slightly a little longer, right? But they wanted to start taking out advantage. They wanted me to do this all the time for them, right? Because sometimes I'll be like, "No, you guys can leave. Like, I'll stay here, and then I'll pack this stuff up, and the cleaner will just like, once I leave, because the cleaner is still in there, right? Once I leave, then I guess I'll leave the cleaner behind, right? So they started getting off earlier, right? And they were enjoying that. So because they don't have to do their job, right? So they wanted to start taking now advantage. Like they're like, okay, now we like it's like, because they don't really have to do the hard work because most of them are not working out at that particular time. So it's like it's pretty exhausting for them. And so they'll try to put me like under hypnosis and then try to ask me, why are you doing this? Why are you helping us with the weights today? They wanted to know if I know what they're doing. And I'll just be like, oh, because it's a lot of work for you guys. Since you guys are not working out, like, this could be really, like, bad for you guys, like, health-wise. You guys didn't even warm up, and here you are lifting these heavy weights. They wanted to know if I was aware of what they were doing. And I acted as if I wasn't aware. So when they wanted to now start getting abusive, I was like, okay, I got to put my foot down. Let me show you that you're not the only ones who are in control here. So I would hear them like they'll try to put me under a trance. They weren't aware that I was able to hear them throughout the whole process. They'll be like, she doesn't even know how this is that. But I had a friend who was in there with me, he was kind of like connected to them, right? I made a friend, well, not really friend, acquaintance, right? I used to tell him that they're unaware that I know what they're doing, right? They're unaware of they're unaware that they're unaware of the fact that I'm aware of what they are doing. Is that the right thing? I'm unaware. I know they were unaware of me having knowledge of what they were doing, right? And he was just like, these people are crazy. You need to get away from them. Like, like these people are not good people. That's what he was telling me. And I'm like, don't worry, I got this. So he would always try to stay behind with me so that he makes sure nothing happens to me. So I was like, don't worry about me, I'm good. And so one time I was like, okay, since they want to get abusive, let me put my foot down and show them exactly who I am. So one day it's like the three of them, because I once heard them telling the other guy, there was a really nice guy there who they actually let go because he was a really nice person. So these people, they only hire ruthless, evil, little demonic people like themselves, right? They do not want to hire anybody who's of higher vibration, anyone with a kind heart, anyone with, as long as you can use those manipulation tactics, you're ruthless, you're a rapist, you're a murderer, because that's what these people are, right? But they present themselves as good people, right? If you're that horrible person, they'll keep you. If you're a good-hearted person, they won't keep you. So this gym space says, even grocery stores, they're filled with people like this, right? Because they only hire each other. So that one guy, I don't know, I forgot his name, but I think it starts with an A. I'll just call him A. A was so nice. He's like, no guys, like we did this last week. We can't force it to pack this weight again this week. Like, come on now. They're like, no, you gotta be like this. If you wanna be rich one day, you gotta be ruthless. And then he's like, okay. But he would always like show kindness. Like he had a big heart, he's like, you can't keep doing that to another person. You can't keep doing that to another person. Like, that's just not fair, right? And they're like, no, you gotta do it. Like, it's like they were trying, I think they were trying to get him to be a part of like some brotherhood or whatever, and that was maybe like his initiation. I don't know, because these people out here are really funny, the kind of foolishness that they do. So they're like, you gotta do it, and then he's like, okay, fine. So he tries to put me under a trance, and I'm just like, for him only, I would go ahead. I'll be like, okay. I always wanted to make them feel like he had some special powers that they didn't have. So when he does that to me, I'll be like, yes, sure, hey, I'll do it. Excuse me, I'll do it. I'll pack back everything, I'll pack it back. And when it comes to them, they try to control, whenever it's like the two of them the next day, or the following day, wherever day I come by, when it's just the two of them and A is not there. They'll try to manipulate the energy to get me under a trance. I'll be like, did you send a signal that you wanted me to pack weights for you? Because today is the two of you, and you guys can do it by yourselves. And they'll be like, how the hell does she know? and then they'll try to hide behind the wall and manipulate the energy. And I'm like, I heard that, I saw that, like, they were just like, what the fuck? And then they'll talk to A, and they'll be like, A, how come she does it when you're around? Like, you need to do it. You need to get her under the manipulation for us. So A will come within the following day or whatever day, and he'll try to manipulate. So I'll be like, it's the three of you today. Like, if you guys need me to do anything, you guys need to be able to talk. You guys need to be confident. Because this, when you send signals, I can't really get that, you know? And then I'll start, like, sometimes I'll start packing them, and then I'll just stop halfway, and I'll be like, I need to go, bye. And they'll be like, I would always, it's like, because of, like, I always wanted to, like, make them feel like A had the upper hand, and they, like, he had some special powers that they didn't, right? So one day, I remember telling the other guy, one of the guys was told, the tall, skinny guy, like, I was like, today, no mind control. It was in front of everybody. I was like, today, no mind control. If you want to pack the weights, if you want me to pack the weights, you have to be confident enough to walk up to me and ask me nicely, Gracie, can you help me pack the weights? And everybody was like, because they want to keep that stuff secretly, like, like these little sorcerers and witches behind the scenes, and they do all these little tactics of manipulation that nobody knows, and they're mischievous and, like, like, in a cool way, but it's just like, nah, I can see through the bullshit. So the reason why a lot of people do not like me in a lot of places, like, I get gang stalked in a Walmart, I get gang stalked in gyms, because I can see that fuckery. Excuse my French. And the only time that stuff can work on you guys is if you do not clear your trauma. Do your very best. People who succumb to this kind of foolishness, people like, specifically Jamaicans are easily controlled because of trauma in their system, unhealed trauma, right? They do it to other people, but other people do it to them a lot too, because they have unhealed, years and years of unhealed trauma. They believe that hypnosis can help them heal trauma, but that's not true. Hypnosis can help some white people heal trauma, because white people's trauma is not as deep as what Jamaicans have, or people like of African descent or black, race have in their system. Like, you need to go through the full process of healing your trauma. There's little shortcuts will not help, and they also believe that when they use the little shortcuts, they're not going to carry karma into their next lifetime. And it's like, which fool told you that? Because when you're holding somebody against their free will, right? That is automatically a karmic debt on your ass, right? So the more it's like, I don't know who's lying to these people, but it's like, did you do your research before you started this foolishness? Did you do your research? Because if you want to skip certain processes, right, you're going to skip out a whole lot of information that was very much needed for you to heal, right? Shortcuts will not get you. That's manipulation. A lot of hypnosis, and that is all manipulation. Shortcuts. And it's like, they're only getting the short end of the stick with this, like, type of techniques. These techniques will only work for people with very little traumatic experiences in their life. White people don't have the same type of trauma that black people have faced, right? So certain techniques are not suitable for certain people, but they don't understand that. And I'm not trying to say I'm better than you in any way or whatever the hell a lot of you want to assume, because even if you want to accuse me for having light skin privilege, that would be some total BS, because I don't even see the light skin privilege you're talking about. Majority of the times it's people like you that use hypnosis, black magic, brainwashing, that are having the upper hand, and it's very dark-skinned girls. So if you want to talk light-skin privilege, some bullshit. There is no light-skin privilege out here. Not in Toronto, not in Canada. I even think in the States, not even in the States. A lot of people that are having the upper hand are people that uses manipulation tactics, right? And these people are usually murderers. They're murderers, because you can murder people with these very same techniques. Gang stalking, mind control. They're mind rapists, right? They're raping people even physically, because I see a lot of girls being programmed, guys. Being programmed to have a relationship with somebody who, if they were in their right mind, if they had their free will, they would not even consent to that relationship. So now, who are the real criminals? Anyway, guys, thank you for listening. Have yourself a good night.